Hello again. So we'll be solving today a question about duplicating elements in an array. So the situation is like this. So I have an array that contains some elements. Let's suppose they are integers. So 7, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we need to duplicate each element. So at the end we should have a double 7, then a double 2, double 3, double 4, and of course a double 1. So the idea is that we don't create another array. So we have an array that we need to expand it. So obviously the size should be at the beginning created as a double size, so that it can host all the elements. So we need to write this. So we'll see the hints later on. So they gave us the skeleton. So we have an array with a double size. So we need to read the effective size of the array. So it should be between 0 and size. Yes, so size is a predefined constant. Then we need to read the array. So we need to read an element. Then we need to duplicate the elements in this array. And then we need to print that. So we'll start by writing all these functions. So obviously all these are easy, except for duplicate. We'll see that it's also easy. So to read an integer with a condition, so I need an integer. So int n. So let's remove the caps lock. Then obviously I need to have a do while because I need to read an integer in between 0 and n. So in our case is in between the minimum condition and the maximum condition. So as long as n is less or equal to condition min, or n is greater or equal, strictly greater than condition max. So, and then I need to return this integer. To read an array, so obviously I need to have also a loop. So for I equal to 0, I less than the dimension. So it's passed by parameter I++, and obviously I need to do a scanf %d address of array, so arr of I, capital A. So there's nothing to return here because we have the function of type void. To print the array also, it's of type void, so I just need to loop over the array and print its elements. So for I equal to 0, I less than dimension I++, and then I have a printf %d array of I. So those are the functions. So we need to write the duplicate function. So let's see a hint of that. So I already have this on my YouTube channel, but you can also check it with me now. So in order to duplicate the element, so I can have a counter that starts from the last element of the array, and then I can, for example, in this case, whenever I'm at index 3, I should place the same number at index 6 and 7. So this counter will return back, so as if it was decremented. So we know we need for now a counter, and we know that it should be decremented, and at each iteration, if I'm at index I should place the element at some indexes. So we have just one loop. We loop from n-1 obviously to 0, and at each time I need to place the same element pointed or at index I in some positions, in some indexes. So if we go back, so if I'm at index 3, I should place that at index 3, I should place that in index 6 and 7. If index 2, I will go to the animation, so I should place it into 4 and 5. Okay, so 4 and 5. So we need to find a formula. So we can see that 6 is double of I and 7 is double plus 1. So yes, it works with that. So obviously if I'm at 1, I should place it in 2 and 3, and if I'm at index 0, I should place that into index 0 and 1. So let's verify this. So if I'm at index 1, I should place that into at index 2 and 3. So right, and whenever I'm decrementing it to 0, I should place that into 0 and 1. Okay, so this is it. So in order to duplicate all these elements, so I need a loop. So we know that I should start from the last index, so I equal n minus 1. I is greater or equal to 0 because we need to reach the first element, I minus minus, and I should place into the index 2 I the value of a of I, and again, so I can place it directly here, a of 2 multiple I plus 1 is equal to the value of a to I and is equal to ai. So in other way, so the value of ai, it should be placed here, and then the value that is here should be placed there. So there is no need for the curly braces, and this is it. So there is nothing to return, there is nothing to do, so just a small function. So let's do a pre-check so that we are sure that there's no errors. So yes, we have here I++, so there should be a semicolon, not a comma. Pre-check. So yes, so let's do a check and see if everything is correct. So yes, so we have all our test cases correct. So we have reached to duplicate each element in an array. So the idea here is very clear, is very obvious. So I just need one loop, and we loop from the end of the array till the first element of the array, and each time I place the element at index I into two cells at indexes 2i and 2i plus 1. So this is it for this exercise. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to write to me, and do not forget to follow the channel, and thanks for watching.